Good morning, everybody. Eddie Marcus here again, doing the same thing I've been doing for the past almost 50 years, trying to see if we together can wake up and live. I want to ask you, have you ever heard why human beings exist on the earth? Do you know? I remember as a kid going to church, this is where you get some kind of connection from the superpower that you can't see. And I heard that God said, and God represents that superpower, that he said, and God was referred to as a he during that time. He made man in his image, etc., etc. Now, the truth of the matter is, personally, I don't know what God is. I just know God is power. I never seen God as a man, as a woman, as an animal. All I see is power. And I can't call God a man. I can't call God a woman. If I do, it's just I credit that to my upbringing. But I heard that God said, I'm lonely and I'll make me a man. Now, I can't understand it. Get kind of confusing because there was already a heaven, supposedly, of people or angels, they call them, who did exactly what God wanted them to do. And it used to make me think that after God having made the angels who did what God wanted them to do, then made man, well, I'll be honest with you too, I just do not know why God made we human beings. Because I've lived a long time on the earth. But compared to the time that people have been living on this earth, I'm just a microdot. But in that microdocracy, I just don't see why we're here. I see people living all kinds of ways. I see people doing things that are good. I see people doing things that cause pain and suffering. I see people talk about things that would eliminate all the pain and seems like it would be like heaven. And I see other people talking about total destruction. I see people trying to make a way, and I see other people killing. And I'm asking myself, why are we here? For some strange reason, I wondered this all my life, but I never got an answer. I did, however, get a calling, and that calling was to recognize that the power that exists is capable of changing that which needs to be changed. And when I think about people living and dying, living seems to be more pleasing than dying, but it's a hardcore. And I ask myself, why is it so hard? And I didn't come up with an answer. So it's a confusing situation that human beings find themselves in. I remember growing up, I was excited about life because you're young, you don't know what's happening. You see adults, and adults doing different things. So you figure you're young, you can't do that, but you keep on living. Next thing you do, you'll be able to do the same things the adults are doing. And then you become an adult, and you just see adults doing one thing, another adult doing another thing. It reminds me about my marriage. I've been married twice. My first wife, I didn't know. I thought we were in love. Uh, but we ended up getting a divorce. And I found out that the reason for that is because before we got married, she thought I was potentially the next president of the United States. But having been married for 7, 8 years, something changed. I saw so much poverty as I was working in Chicago that it reminded me of being in the South back in those 50s when things were really something else. And so I kind of got the impression that love, doing things better, making things better for yourself and for people was outweighing that of killing people. And in during that time in the early years, I saw a man by the name of Dr. King and Malcolm X and a couple other guys, and I heard about some who were standing up to defeat the pain and suffering of the world. So they had a reason to defeat the pain and suffering, and the others were to capture it. But anyway, I got married a second time. That first wife decided that, hey, this joker want to change the world. He's not trying to make the world like we super. So that was not what she wanted, and we ended up splitting. And I ended up getting married again. We've been married a long time. I mean, we've been married at least 43 years. And I've, we don't make it too good now. We got a few kids, but things seem to be a little rocky now. And as we try to evaluate what's causing the rockiness, and my wife and we talk, and she keeps saying to me that I promised that I would take care of her. So as I hear that, I'm thinking about, well, where's the love? I mean, I thought you married me because we loved each other, not because I'm going to take care of you. And yes, I did and do, even at this late date, struggle to take care of you. But the thing of it is, my friend, is that that's not my only reason for being married to you, to take care of you. I mean, I married you for a lot more than that, to be with you, to share with you, and to work together on a common cause. But at that time, she did not know, or she didn't understand. I guess she says that I was going to totally commit my life to trying to make the world better for everybody else. Because when she met me, I had gone through some changes, and I was working at a university. And I guess that might have given the impression that I was about progress in these kinds of areas. But as we got together, I thinking that praying and asking God to bless us, especially her, because she had just gotten out of college, and me, I was going to quit working at a college, a university, and I was just going to go and try to do everything I possibly could as the Spirit leads me to see if we can make this a better world. Well, and I've been doing this for 40 some years. She hasn't seen anything come out of that. And seeing what we have experienced, she's not really satisfied. She said, I spent too much time trying to change the world and didn't think about us. Well, I didn't think that we were trying to just make it in the world. I thought we were changed. I thought people who didn't understand God, who didn't understand life, who didn't understand love, went through all these changes trying to outdo each other. I wasn't trying to outdo each other because I saw heaven was made for everybody now. Now that I begin to understand what was going on, I still don't know where I was made, but of understanding what's going on. And so we still go through these struggles. So it makes me seem like love is something that you can't play with. I am of the belief now that mothers and parents can hate or not love. I don't want to use the word hate. Cannot love their children. Children cannot love their parents. Husbands cannot love their spouse, or the spouse cannot love their husband. You could, but for the most part, you don't. And why do you say that? Because when you can tell if somebody loves someone, it's when it gets to the rough spot, the hardest stuff. It's like if your spouse gets sick, and I mean really sick. Could you stay there and take care of your spouse? Could you clean your spouse just like that spouse was a baby? You know, when you had the children, you have to do everything for them. Could you do the same thing for your spouse, man or woman? Would you want to do? See, to me, love says, hey, that's what I'm here for. I don't want to just we'll be with you just when we can laugh and dance and go out and party. I don't want to just be with you when we can live in a house and drive and travel and do this kind of stuff. I want to be with you when we can't do nothing. Well, that almost means different, but you know what I mean. If you get hurt, I want to be there for you. To me, that's what love is. being there for you when you know you're supposed to be. But love will get you there. Love also says to me that if I love my spouse, I love every human being on the face of the earth because that's what love is. Love is not shaped. So, I've heard them say you got these different kinds of love. But to me, love is love. If you love, you got a reason for loving. Why? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you're supposed to live. And that means you don't hate anybody. You love everybody. So if you love your family, your spouse, you love the people in China, you love the people in Africa, you love the people in other places that you don't even know exist, but you love them. What does that mean? That means you would do nothing to hurt them. And everything that you have, you're willing to share to make life as wonderful for them as you would want life to be for you. That's what love means, says to me. But as I sit here this morning and I'm thinking about all of this living and all of this walking and all of this talking and all of this traveling around talking about God and how wonderful God is. And all I can see around me is lies, is evil, hatred, racism, bigotry. I mean, some people out there trying to pretend like they care about, like what you say, white supremacy might care about white supremacy. Black supremacy might care about black supremacy. But do they care about one another? No. So you don't know anything about caring. That's pretending. You fake. That's the way I see it. Anyway, I keep thinking about, even at this day, having spent out this much time running for public office, president, senator, governor, mayor, all of this sought all of these various positions as a platform to stand up and glorify God and let everybody know that God didn't just make us to kill, God made us to live life. So now it seems like I got a reason for why we were made. We were made to live life without the pain, without the suffering. But it comes, so it apparently tells us that we got something to do. Maybe there's something we got to learn. How do we live without the suffering? How do we live without the pain? How do we live caring about one another? I'm sure that got some purpose. I might not know what it is right now, but that is one. I'm thinking, hold up, I'm gonna check my bread, make sure it's not burning. Well, my bread didn't burn, so I'm all good. But I'm thinking, I'm up this morning, and I just put out some posts explaining to the world that if we can't find any reason to care about one another, maybe we can find a reason to care about our children. And to care about our children means taking care of more and looking out for more than just those in your household, just those with your last name, but kids everywhere. And I've explained to you how we can have our needs, our wants, and our desires. I've explained everything to you, but it seems as if nobody's interested. So it makes me figure, why am I living now? I mean, really, why am I living? Am I just living to spend some time until I get older? I mean, right now I got problems. I'm old. I got old age problems with your high blood pressure and some other things that happen to old folks. But I'm still laughing and talking and walking, all right. But where is the life? Where is the joy? I mean, there's a war going on over in Iran. The United States, they say, partnered with Israel, and they decided to start some stuff. I understand now they're starting stuff because they're trying to hide the evils that Trump and Netanyahu might have associated themselves with. That means that they are not caring about the children. They are bombing babies. Babies are being bombed and their parts blown all across the community. And these people say they know God. These people say they love God. Well, Israel say they represent God. I know the United States doesn't represent God. The United States talk that stuff, but that's nothing but a bunch of BS that the United States talk. The United States proved it when they came on the scene. They snatched their natives' land. They did everything they had to do to them to make sure that that was settled. Then they took blacks and they turned them into slaves. They did all of that, and they never stopped. They just been riding high off the back of others. So I do know that shouldn't be going on, but I'm a black man. Then you start hearing stuff about prophecy. Prophecy says that God's going to allow you to be suffering for such a long period of time because you didn't understand and be obedient to his instruction. You're going to do that for a while, and then after you go through that, you're going to find out that those that were oppressing you were denying the same things that you denied when you had the opportunity. So what they have done is relegated themselves to the same slavery position that you just rising up from. That doesn't make any sense. Slave, master, slave. Where's the time gonna happen when everything gets right? Well, maybe only God knows that. But I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking. If there's nothing that's gonna be better in this world, my efforts have been useless. I have no desire to live, to be old, expecting somebody to love me enough to take care of me. Heck no, I don't even want to go through that. I don't even want to take a chance on that. I'd rather die while I'm happy. I'd rather die while I'm healthy. I'd rather die while everything seems to be okay a little bit. Don't get me upset and tear me up, tear me down, bend over, pain, cancer, you name it, and then death comes. What's wrong with you? Don't play me like that. So I'm really talking randomly. I'm not really saying too much of anything, but hopefully I'm saying a little bit of something that might touch one of you. My purpose and my point of it is that there have been occasions that I have played the lottery. Why did I play the lottery? Because I wanted to see if my luck could come in. I might win one of those uh, winning. Why? So I can do something. We live in a world where you can't do anything without money. And people do anything to keep you from getting that money to make sure they get it instead of you. And when they get it, they're not really looking out caring about you because they don't care about you. They don't care about your education, or lack thereof. They don't care about your health care. And in fact, they give you false medicine so they can make more money off you, rip you off. It's just a crazy world. And I pray, and ask God to show me something if I can do more. And yet, I'm still doing the things that seem like they're not working at all. But yet, I'm committed because commitment means that when things seem to be going bad, that don't make you stop. I mean, because things seem to be going bad if you're the real deal. So I want to be the real deal. I'm convinced that I'm the real deal because I own nothing. I realize that people who own stuff accept that. That means they are committed to the system in which they're living under and they're satisfied. If you don't own anything, there's something else going on. Either you're not committed to the system because the system destroys you, it tears you down, or won't allow you to, handcuffs you so much, or you make the decision that I don't want a part of this. I want to change this. For instance, I don't want a part of knowing that as an American, that Donald Trump, America's president, is engaged in over there in Iran, bombing up babies like they did in Iraq, bombing up babies like they did in Japan, bombing up babies like they did in Vietnam. I don't want to have nothing to do with that stuff. To me, those people, those are not people, those are animals. Those are the kind of stuff that you saw in the safari someplace, in Africa someplace, in the jungle. To me, that's what it represents. White supremacy, that's what it represents to me, people in the jungle. When you see slavery and all that kind of stuff, that's people don't know nothing about life. These are people that in the pit of hell, to me. But they didn't make themselves. They were put here by the same power, perhaps, that put me here. So, what do you say about that? Look, I tell you what, I've talked 19 minutes. I'm going to play this back and it doesn't sound worth not anything. I just erase it. Okay? Thank you.